one of the unwritten job expectations of being a wife. And I'm going to just call it what it is. It's sexual debt.
You know what's one of the lamest things in the world for a man to ever accept? A man's girl tells him she's not having sex with him because she's mad at him or whatever reason. And she weaponized that shit, and the man just accepts that. Listen, I'll accept that from you. You don't gotta fuck me, but you better believe I'm fucking somebody else immediately. Immediately, I'm not even waiting.
It's not the wife's responsibility to keep her husband satisfied in the bedroom.
You just sitting up over there and you got a hard you looking at a motherfucker going you once every 3 months when you got hoes out there you every week.
I'm not dealing with that.
No, when you get married, you're gonna have to deal with it because that's part of
You know what? You just gave my answer. I'm not getting married.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. You see that? Winter is coming.
Who's advocating for the average man?
Wait a minute.
Fuck you mean?
Y'all saw that, right?
What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Rome, back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So, come across a few videos of some women over here saying that giving their man sex is not their responsibility. So my question is, well, whose is it then? And if that's the case, is it okay for him to get it elsewhere without you getting in your feelings and accusing him of cheating? Even if he's upfront with you about it? Yeah. I think we already know how most women are going to answer that. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
So I want to talk about one of the unwritten job expectations of being a wife. And I'm going to just call it what it is. It's sexual debt. And whether you're married or you're thinking about it, you will feel this. I promise you. When you get married and when you're in your marriage. When you get married, there will be this undercurrent, this kind of low hum, and a sense that sex is now part of your job description. Nobody puts it in the vows, obviously. Nobody tells you, but you will feel it. And here's why I'm so sure. Number one, marital rape was not a crime in all 50 states until 1993. So there's this cultural undercurrent, a recent one, that it was owed. That's not ancient history. That's your mom. And what that means is that for the overwhelming majority of human history, the law agreed that your body was part of the marriage contract. Laws don't just disappear from cultural memory when you repeal them. We're still feeling the weight of a rule that technically no longer exists. And even if your husband is a good man, he has been socialized into sexual entitlement since he was a child. There was a researcher, Debbie Herbernick at Indiana University, who's documented this through pornography, through how other men talk, through every movie where the girl is the prize at the end. And this is a curriculum, and your husband graduated from it. All men did. And unless they are actively trying to deconstruct from that, you can expect this to be part of how they behave. And on top of that, your future husband has been handed the story that male sexuality is an uncontrollable biological urge, that he just can't help it. I was told that in both of my marriages. And therefore, it becomes your job to manage it. To be available for him, to be available enough, to keep him, to make sure he doesn't stray, for his own morality.
Interesting. Kind of sounds similar to how y'all want men to be emotionally available and intelligent, because we have to manage and corral y'all emotions because y'all can get irrational. Sounds similar. Yeah, y'all see what I did there?
Gotcha, bitch!
There's another researcher, Lisa Diamond and Carol Tavris, who have been very clear that That narrative is not science. Men don't need sex. It is a cultural construct that got laundered through evolutionary psychology and handed back to us as fact. Sex is not a biological need. No one's ever died without it. It's just a story, but you will be expected to live according to that story. So if you are walking into a marriage where the laws only recently stopped agreeing that your body was owed, and where your husband has been trained to feel entitled, and where the culture handed him a biological entitlement, an excuse, none of it is in the vows, but it will be in the room with you for your whole marriage, and you deserve to know that before you sign anything.
And I guarantee you, everything that a man was biologically expected to do, she still upholds. So as long as you're still doing that, everything that you just said don't hold any fucking weight. Because that's how a lot of y'all women are thinking nowadays. Especially y'all older women that are over here miserable and trying to pass it down to younger women such as yourself. This is some of the lamest shit I ever heard. Look, unless you've had a shot of testosterone in you as a woman, you don't got a seat at the table to sit over here and know what that feels like. Because let me tell you, like, fellas, if you just start consistently going to the gym again, that alone is going to boost your testosterone. And you know you're going to see way more attractive women in the gym, right? So you can imagine what type of discipline that takes. Which is another reason why I tell women to go to the gym if they want to find a man, but they still ain't fucking hearing me. But I digress, man. I needed to go on that rant because this bitch was spewing a bunch of bullshit. And so is this next one.
It's not the wife's responsibility to keep her husband satisfied in the bedroom. And the fact that that's even controversial is very telling. Yet we have framed this as part of a woman's wifely duties. You are a woman who has become increasingly disconnected from your body through motherhood and now into perimenopause. I have a hypothesis. When society or religion or gender roles connect sex to duty, it stops becoming a choice. When it stops becoming a choice, it disconnects you from desire, eventually getting to a point where your husband's needs override your own when it comes to your own body. And sex no longer feels like intimacy. It feels like obligation. This will only change when we stop believing our bodies are the price of being a good partner.
Did you hear that bullshit?
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better. This is bullshit.
Watched a video of a woman saying it's your job as the wife to make marriage physically exciting for your husband. You need to be sexually available for him. He needs it to feel loved and fulfilled in the marriage. And I was shocked by the number of women in the comments who were opposing this.
Right.
And I understand. I get it. For a long time, women's voices were smothered out. There have been a lot of abuse and a lot of women have encountered abuse. I totally get it. But I fear that the pendulum has swung so far to where we're not even considering our husbands or men from a place of love and empathy. The first thing that comes to my mind is, do you truly love your husband?
You can just tell when feminine energy enters the chat, right? Like this right here, you felt this energy right here. Just chaos. Ain't
nobody got time for that.
And she just came over here and balanced it all out.
Because first of all, if you love him, you will sexually desire him more often. But also, if you love him, you're going to care about if he feels rejected or not. You're going to care about if he feels unwanted or if he feels emasculated. You're going to care about that because you love him, right? Like, there's so many women who they want their husbands, they would prefer for them to be the breadwinner. They would prefer for them to be present with their children. They would prefer for their husbands to be present to their own emotional needs. They would prefer that he would be the one to take out the trash. They would prefer a lot of these things. But the moment that the husband or the man would prefer sex as a part of his marital desires, the walls go up. And relationships are reciprocal. Like, we have to think about this logically. We're both getting something out of that. And when you think about this from a Christian perspective, and the woman who made the video, she's a Christian, she's a believer. Paul said that the wife's body belongs to the husband, and the husband's body belongs to the wife. And they're there to fulfill one another's sexual desires and needs.
Amen.
God designed it this way because he understood it. If you love your husband, why would you want him to feel pent up? And I think that the same women who would get offended that their husbands want them to be sexually available are the ones that would feel offended if their husbands weren't sexually interested in them.
She's got a point.
And so, yeah, I understand body autonomy. I understand the desire to have consent. I understand having a past. I understand all of these things, but this is also an invitation to get to the root of why you don't want to be intimate. Is there something in your past? Okay, let's deal with something that happened to you in your past. Or is there something that happened in the relationship that is impacting your intimacy? Okay, let's talk about it so you can be intimate. Is this something hormonal? Let's get to the root of it. These things have solutions, and it's an invitation for deeper intimacy. And so, yeah, God's design for marriage works. And I think people are becoming even more shocked as people are drifting away from God's intent and God's design. But marriage can be so happy, so fulfilling, but it needs to go both ways. We have to love the husbands. We have to love the men in our lives. And we have to get over this propaganda that is pitting men against women. But marriage can be so happy, so fulfilling, but it needs to go both ways.
I agree.
Definitely. I'm like, and it's really that simple. It's really that simple, bro. Shout out to her, man. She ain't make that complicated whatsoever. I don't understand the problem with this. And I'm glad she pointed this out, because I've said this all the time too, because I find this very interesting. Because this is part of the reason why you're starting to see more men say like, oh, okay. Oh, you ain't fucking me. Okay, I'm gonna fuck somebody else then. Because if I wasn't trying to, then you're gonna be assuming that I'm cheating anyway. See, I'm like, that's how illogical women are. This is what I don't understand. How can women sit over here? Here's what's interesting, bro. Because this conversation doesn't get spoken of enough. A lot of men that are married complain about being in sexless marriages, yet women complain about men cheating, infidelity. Like, you don't see the correlation between the two? Like, I'm like, damn, I'm like, bro, it's simple, man.
You know what I feel like that's not talked about enough? These women who get these men in committed relationships or marriages, which are worse, and then they don't want to sleep with them. So you telling me that I committed myself to you and you don't want to sleep with me, but I also can't sleep with no other woman. Crazy work to me.
This is filthy work.
Diabolical. And a lot of times they use sleeping with them as a reward system. They weaponize it. Oh, okay, you took the car to get a car wash, you got the oil change, you cut the grass, okay, you paid all the bills, okay, you helped me with the kids, and you cleaned up. I guess I can give you something. I got a homie. Him and his wife was high school sweethearts. They've been married for 15 years, going on 15 years this year. They got married at 20. And he said in the last 6 months, Dan did it 3 times. And he have not ever been with another woman besides her. That's crazy work to me.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Because there's some dudes in these relationships and our marriages who you're not sleeping with, who you won't give none to, but they can go out and sleep with just about any woman they want. But you're the only woman they want to sleep with, yet you don't want to do it. It's crazy work to me. And then y'all wonder, besides the emotional abuse or
financial abuse that men have to go through in relationships or marriages or after they're over, you know, as far as spousal support, child support, alimony, and all that other stuff. Why men are staying away from relationships and our marriages, you know? Who want to put themselves through that? Why would I get with a woman who's going to tell me, oh, not tonight, not tonight, I got a headache, I don't feel like it, when I can have 10 women on my roster and, oh, you don't feel like it tonight? Well, she do. Come pull up. What? Who? Why? Who the fuck want to do that? Why would I put myself through the bullshit when I can have 10 of you?
That nigga got a point.
I'm like, and more men are starting to exercise that, dude. I'm like the intro, like what I played in the intro, bro. That man was married for 40 years. He said that's what you're gonna have to deal with if you get married. That's one of the main reasons a lot of married men tell younger men not to get married.
Is it wrong if I feel like I don't want to give my husband head when I'm on my question mark period?
There's plenty of days as a man, we wake up.
We be tired too.
We tired as
still a blow your back out.
But y'all don't be having no period.
Don't do that, Kitty. No.
What are you talking about, man? Please, Kitty. No. Here y'all go. Y'all finna start that bull crap. Y'all don't be having no cycles. Y'all don't know what we go through as women during our menstrual. Y'all have no idea. Yes, we would love to get on our knees and do what we have to do to please our husbands. But you don't know the pain that we be going through. Let's not talk about the people who end up having hormonal problems because of their periods and stuff like that, or people who have PMDD. It's always, well, I want you to do this. And it's cool. We can do that when we're not on our period. But in this time, why don't you just give me a nice bubble bath or something like that? Give me a warming blanket or something like that. Because for 5 to 7 days, I'm going through hell right now. So I may not be able to get on my knees right now. Y'all don't never factor in what we be going through.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna make it. I got it real comfortable for you. I'm gonna draw the bath. I'm gonna do everything.
Hold on, Lance. I got you, and I'm proud of you for that. But y'all don't never factor in what we have to deal with as women, and I am so sick and tired of that. Because when we have kids and everything else, we have to constantly show up for our kids. We have to constantly show up for you. On top of that, we are fighting our body. I don't know how old you are, because we don't want to talk about the people with perimenopause and menopause and everything else. Thank you. I got you, baby. We don't never want to talk about those things, but it's always, why you not doing this? If you don't do this, I'm gonna go talk to somebody else. You don't know the hell that I'm dealing with right now as a woman. You don't know what we go through. I ain't done yet. Y'all don't know the transitions that we have to go through. Y'all don't know about none of the stuff that we really have to deal with, and the mental toil and the emotional labor that we have to do in the marriages. You have no idea. Y'all think that y'all just really these big old bad men and y'all the best husbands in the world. If you were the best husband, you'll be able to read me on my cycle for those 5 to 7 days if you were such a great husband. It's not that I'm just trying to be selfish. Right now, I may not have the will to be able to do that right now. Do y'all know how drained we be as women? She got children on top of that. Are y'all serious right now?
Yes, we serious, and we want some head. And we want some head. Because if you wanna talk about cycles, I got cycle. I got the rent cycle. I got the car cycle. I got the insurance cycle.
Men go through stuff too.
Kids want a cycle. I got to cycle their ass to the grocery store. I got to cycle their to the doctor. We got the health insurance cycle.
I thank God for my husband, because my God on today. Y'all really do not understand how our bodies function, and that's the reason why we keep on telling y'all to learn the physiology of a woman. So that way you'll understand it.
All right, as long as you understand why some of these men be having side chicks.
Is being used as a weapon by a lot of women in a bad way. And that's why this conversation is coming out, and it's being framed as duty. I don't like that word duty, but women should want to sleep with their husbands. And if they don't, they need to be able to sit and express why, and that needs to be fixed. If you can't fix that, it's ending. It's ending. And guys, you should know that there is no healthy marriage. If you're being denied, something's wrong. Where is she sleeping with somebody else? What happened here? What happened? And be willing to own up that did you play a role in it?
So the other day I got an email from a woman who was very upset about a video I had done talking about how men define intimacy through physical contact. She wrote, "Men don't need sex, they just want it. And nobody has ever died from being denied sex." You know what? On the surface, at least technically, she's right. Nobody keels over dead the second they hear, "Not tonight, honey, I've got a headache." But let me tell you what really happens to a human being who's actively being denied sex, being denied intimacy over and over. It isn't just frustrating, it's soul-crushing. Especially so for men. Some equate it to torture. And by the way, it is also considered a form of domestic violence, though usually only if it's the man doing it. If it's the woman who is actively denying sex and intimacy, well, she's just choosing to do what's best for her.
Ain't no way, bro. Please tell me that ain't real. Oh, God. Yeah, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no fucking way.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Yo, if that's the case, bro, that alone should keep men single. Good God.
I'm about to set somebody free. Can you have a sexless marriage and thrive? No.
No.
No. No. Here's why. You're going to create resentment in a relationship. For men, I mean, that is a lot of how we're driven, right? And I know for ladies, maybe not so much. But understand this, 1 Corinthians 7:5 says this: do not deprive one another, except, depriving is speaking specifically of having sex, but do not deprive one another except with consent for a time. And come together again, thank you, Jesus, come together again. And then again, and then after that, again.
Wait a minute.
Oh, that's nasty.
It says, come together again, catch this, so that Satan does not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Man, we've counseled in our years of ministry, people have said we ain't had sex in 2-3 years. And understand this, you are setting yourself up for infidelity. You're setting yourself up for infidelity. Why? Because scripture says that Satan is waiting for that kind of stuff to happen. He's waiting because he sees a weakness and a kink in the armor. He sees an open door. And so, man, I would say you can't thrive and have a sexless marriage, but you also have to figure out why is that the case. I'm about to say.
And also understand that women tend to go for married men quite often, more often than they want to admit. But even Cardi B admitted this, so so if that's the case, it gotta be true, right?
But if he's communicating, you guys used to have so much sex, women are using sex as leverage to get what they want in a relationship, to control a man in a relationship. How does that work?
Don't lie. That's all. When you in the sexless marriage, she knows she not.
So I'm about to go get some pussy? Facts.
I'm so serious. The lying is the wild part. Don't lie. Be like, you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. We need to solve this. If you tell her to her face, if you are not trying to discuss it and solve the problem, you're going to tell me to my face after months of nothing that it's still going to stay that way. And then obviously the divorce is going to follow right after that.
I completely understand that. I don't understand how you're not giving in your needs to.
You should never get to that point.
I understand life gets busy and the scheduling and everything, but you should be at least scheduling some time to actually get that in.
Actually, in the Bible, the women are supposed to invite the man to the bed. Like they're supposed to pursue after their man. They're supposed to have desire for their husband. Of course, it says that the man has desire for the woman as well. I know you said that there's a statistic that most men are in sexless marriages. Well, that's because a woman puts her emotions and her happiness before her role as a wife. And that's why that so many men are in sexless marriages. I do think that there's obviously exceptions, like there always is. And it's more in the marriages where it's like 50-50 and women have to work and men have to work, and now they're tired by the time they get back home. I feel like there's sexless marriages because the woman has the same role as a man. If it's 50-50, you're saying that you're equal, and you're not.
Especially if they got kids too, because newborns,
You know, they take a lot of time and attention. So
Right. I can understand why a woman would be tired and isn't always pursuing her man sexually that way, but that's why I advocate for what was the original design, and it's for the woman to be home so that whenever the man is done working and doing what he's got to do, he comes home and his woman wants to pounce on him. Like she's got, you know, the house clean, kids fed, bathed, ready for bed, and she's got that time set apart specifically for her man and to please him. And to, you know, obviously it pleases her too to see her man pleased, but I think that's important.
Yeah, I hit the nail in the coffin too. I think women tend to get married for the wrong reasons. They get married for the ceremony and for the wedding instead of what it takes to actually maintain a healthy, good marriage. So
Very clear. If you're a married man and you have a wife, if she says no, the answer is no. Because you're married to her or you guys have been in a long-term relationship, that does not give you the right to her body at any point in time of which you need satisfaction. If she says no, it's no.
So this is true. Guys, no means no, okay? I don't care if you're dating, I don't care if you're married. If she says no, the answer is no. But ladies, you need to understand that after a man has heard a certain number of no's, you have now given us permission to go seek sex elsewhere, okay? And when we do that, we do not give a damn about your feelings, talking about some, oh, well, you cheating, blah, 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 because you didn't care about our feelings when we were in need of something. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do not complain about how you were hurt because we went out and did something that you were unwilling to do for us. All right? It works both ways.
Ladies, I want to try to help you understand this. Let's envision that your children, they're young, they're infants, they're 2, they're 4, 6, somewhere in the adolescence age, were put behind plexiglass in your house and you could never touch them. So when they're crying, you can't hold them. When they're hurting, you can't nurture them. When you want to play with them, it has to be between this big wall of plexiglass. What would that do to your heart in that moment that your child is hurting, that they're wanting comfort and you aren't allowed to cross over and comfort them? It's something that like twists at our souls. It creates an ache in us even to imagine that taking place. That's kind of what it's like for your husband when you've cut off sex. A sexless marriage begins to destroy him because for him, you are the one that he loves most in the world. And the way that he expresses that most commonly is through sexual intimacy. That's the deepest form of connection, not the only, but it's the deepest and most sacred form of expression of his love towards you. So just like how it might feel if you are being kept from your child when they're needing comfort or needing nurturing, that's kind of how it feels to him, the one that he loves more than anything in this world. He can be near, but he can't touch her. He can't hold her. He can't express his love to her. And he begins to feel like there's a silent divorce happening, even though no papers are being drawn up. That's what it's doing to his soul when he's in a sexless marriage.
Ladies, sent me a text last week about our sex life that he's not very happy with.
How was this text phrased?
I just told her that it's non-existent. I feel like I'm not wanted.
Meaning you're feeling unwanted and
feeling like I don't even know how to even go about sex with her anymore, because there's been plenty of times where she's denied it or she gives an attitude about it and she's just like, oh, fine, okay. You know, it's not even about the physicality of the sex. It's more of the feeling that you get from your partner from that.
Isn't what that woman literally just explained in the previous video. It's almost as if like men are more in tune with their emotions than women are when it comes to sex. And I think women blur the lines as far as how often men want sex, and I think they allude that to, oh, y'all are just uncontrollable or not. I don't know. Maybe your husbands and your boyfriends just really like you. I don't know. Did y'all ever stop and just think about that? Y'all are the same women that are over here talking about we want men to yearn for us, and then when y'all got men that want to have sex with y'all all the time, look how y'all fucking treat them. Do y'all not see how that don't fucking add up, and why that makes men check the fuck out? And why those men are telling younger men, don't do this shit?
Y'all on the slow list too.
The most educated, y'all, but they can't do the math on this one. Y'all let me know what you think, man. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that's what the algorithm helps me reach a broader audience. Also look out for the travel blog channel as well as the rant channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.
You